Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do now, I put treated water. I put 5 gallons of treated water into our holding tank for the trip. So that while we're traveling, we have water for flushing a toilet and washing hands or whatever. That treatment does have a slight chlorine taste to it. Apparently it is safe to drink, but nobody really wants to drink it. And also, I mean, that it's designed to prevent, buildup of algae or any types of bacteria or anything in your water while you're sitting, in storage. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to blow that water out. And some people have had questions about how I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Basically, I have an air compressor, which I'm powering with EcoFlow battery pack. You can see it's the Delta 2 Max. It's a roughly 2,000 watt hour battery system. It's got a second battery that I can add to it if I need to. I don't think that I need that much battery capacity, but I'm not sure how much power the air compressor actually uses. So I'm going to turn that on right now. It's going to get a little loud. I want to see how many watts it's pulling. So it did pull 2,200 watts there at the beginning, but it's currently running at 1,000 watts. So I could run this theoretically non-stop for 2 hours with this battery pack, which should be plenty of enough time to get everything done that we need to get done. I've got this set here at 40 psi, which is right where I want it. There is a pressure regulator built into the Airstream plumbing supply, and apparently that's set at 50 psi. I don't want to exceed that. I found that 40 psi seems to be fine for blowing the water out. So now I've got that set. Let's get our air hose. Let's see, we'll plug this in to there. So now we got air in the pressure hose. In order to hook it up to the trailer, I have this attachment. Again, available at your favorite online retailer. It starts with an A. And so now this is going to go into our city water connection. Oh, there's one more piece I'm going to add to that. Just to kind of take some of the stress off of it, rather than having this sticking out and really bending on that. I put this elbow on here and attach it to that. Then it just kind of hangs straight down and puts less lined up. Okay, there we go. This puts less torque on the fitting there. So now that that's attached, airtight, we turn that pressure on. Okay, back to air pressure. Okay, so that's pretty dry. Come here and we'll do the shower head. There's the compressor. So this thing, and we're just blowing air through the system to force out any water that's still in those pipes. And you want to start with the cold. Just want to start it on low here. Force out whatever's in that shower head on the cold side. And then turn it over to the hot side. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not winterizing. We're just trying to get as much water out of there as we can so that it's not sitting all summer in the hot sun. Oh, there we go. There's the compressor, and I'm going to blow out the toilet here. Okay, blowing out the outside shower. Okay, so down here under the trailer, but there are two low point drains down here also. So there's also two low point drains down here. I can see that white and red PEX piping coming down. So we'll go in and drain those down. And there's a hidden compartment here underneath my pantry. And if you get way in there, again, not super convenient, but there's a couple of valves there. Maybe you can barely see those, so we got to turn those on. That'll force out. Force out any water in these low points. Okay, so now let's check this one. Nothing but air on the hot side. Nothing but air on the cold side. Check our toilet. Nothing but air there. Just a few drops on that side. Just a few drops on that side. A little more. Bring it all the way around to the hot side. Again, I would come back in the wintertime and I'll put antifreeze down this drain. While we were traveling, I had some antifreeze splash out of it, so I know that there's still some in there. You can see after the first blowout, I mean, we only got like a couple ounces there maybe. So those pipes are, you know, looking pretty good. I'll hit these low point drains one more time just to see what comes out. Make sure our pump is off, which it is. Come back and put some antifreeze in the toilet so that trap doesn't dry out, so that seal doesn't dry out. Turn that one on. Sounds dry. Okay, here's the last low point. Nothing but air. Ooh, a little squirt there. turn that off now because we're all done in there. Okay, so we've done all the outlets twice. I guess we could do this one more time just to double check it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that one's done. We're still pressurized, so I'm going to turn this off now. So let's turn the valve off so there's no more air will go in there. And then I'm just going to relieve the pressure at these two low point drains. There we go. So one last trip, and I've learned this on a website or a YouTube page called RV Trips and Travels, is that even though you think that you've got all your pipes empty, you think you've pumped all the water out of your fresh tank, you think that you've done everything to get all the water out, there still could be some residual water in your freshwater tank. And again, I ran it to where I thought the pump was running dry. There's getting some spurts of water, so you don't think there's going to be very much in there. But what I found is that there could be anywhere from 2 to 3 gallons of water still in a fresh tank. So I'm just going to put a bucket here underneath my fresh tank outlet. You can kind of see that right there. Just pop that bucket there, and we will open up our freshwater fill here. And again, I'm just going to basically just put some light pressure in there. But as you can see, I have a steady flow of water coming out of my fresh tank still. So we're going to let this run until that stops. See, we're getting close to the top of the 2-gallon bucket here. It's still a steady stream. So we'll just keep monitoring. Okay, so I turned the water off here for a second because we filled up our 2-gallon bucket here with 2 gallons of water, as you can see. So I'm going to go dump this real quick. All right, we'll put the bucket back, turn the air back on, and see what happens. Still more. Okay, well, it's starting to come out much more intermittently now. So just a few drips and drabs there coming out. Still not ready to call it yet, but getting close. Okay, we're going to call it. It's just a few dribbles there. So just turn the air off. There's a little bit of dripping going on there. I'm going to close this valve up. About 2.5 gallons of water of the 5 gallons I put in there initially was still in there. But again, this water sitting in a tank on a hot summer day for a month, even though it has treatment in it, I'd rather just get it out of there. So we've blown that out. You know, if you're worried about freezing temperatures, you certainly wouldn't want to leave 2.5 gallons in your fresh tank over the winter. That could freeze and potentially do some damage to that tank. So this is an extra step. Again, RV Tips and Travels, another YouTube website with lots of great information. It's a tip I picked up on there. And now every winter I make sure that I empty this fresh tank as much as I can. Like a little bit of puddle of water at the bottom doesn't cover the entire bottom when it freezes. It won't do any damage. But if you had 3-4 gallons of water in there covering the entire bottom and it froze and expanded, you run the risk of damaging a tank. So one more final step is we need our air hose inside for one thing. So in this compartment is the winterization compartment where your water pump is, and your if you wanted to pump antifreeze through your system. I might need a flashlight for part of this, but you got to undo a couple screws here to get access to this compartment. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to grab a flashlight out of the old trusty bin. It says a light left in it. Oh, that's nice. There is a tube here that you stick into your bottle of antifreeze, and when you turn this valve, the water pump, which is down here, will suck antifreeze into the water pump, which will then pump antifreeze throughout your entire system. And again, I don't do that because I don't think that I want my pipes to taste like antifreeze. I mean, theoretically, they would eventually rinse out, and the antifreeze is non-toxic, but still, if I can just blow it out, then there's nothing in there, and that's even better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this off of here like that. Take my air hose, which is here. Anything that goes to this tube is going to go to the water pump. The other thing I need to do is turn the water pump on and open a faucet so that there's some relief there for the air pressure once I pressurize that. So, water pump is on. Again, shouldn't be any water coming through there, but we're going to put a little bit of air through that, and that's going to blow out this line between the you can see I'm blowing air into here. You can kind of see there's some air going through the sediment filter there. Alright, so we did that. We're going to turn the water pump off now. Because again, you don't want to leave that water pump running too long without water going through it. Turn the valve off. We're back. Turn the valve back to water tank. And so what we've done is we've blown air through this line that goes to the water pump. So there's no more water in this tube that connects to the water tank to the water pump. As a last step, there's a sediment cup here that you can unscrew. You can unscrew the sediment cup here. It's a little tight. I don't know if you can. Oh, always remember to put this back on your tube there so you don't lose that. If it drops down into that hole there, you'll never see it again. Yeah, there's like just a tiny little bit in there, which we'll dump into my bucket. That's all there is. Make sure you put this back. Some people will leave this off. I don't like to do that because I'll probably forget to put it back on, and it's kind of a hassle to get into this compartment all the time. This line from here to the tank is under negative pressure because the pump is sucking water out of it, so you're not going to get a leak here, most likely, but you want that good and snug on there. This is the freshwater infill coming from outside. Goes down, fills up the tank. This line coming back out is the overflow in a breather tube that allows air to leave the tank as it's filling up, and then also when the tank is full, this will carry water to the outside to give you an indicator that the tank is full. The tank drain, you can see, is that hose fitting down there. There's some water down there. What's going on down there? My tank drain might have a leak in it. Yeah, generally don't use the water tank except for when we're traveling for a light amount of water. Yeah, it looks like that fitting is not tight on the drain. So that's the drain fitting right there. And you can see, I don't know if it's maybe hard to tell from this angle, but the drain is slightly higher than the outlet from the tank, and that's probably why I'm having residual water being left in the tank. Because the tank drain is sitting quite maybe a quarter inch lower than the valve on the outside. So that's probably why I'm getting that extra water coming out. You can't gravity drain because it can't flow uphill there. Anyway, yeah, so now all of our lines are clear. The tank piping from the city inlet to all the water outlets are dry, blown out with air. We've blown air through this tube to blow air out of the water pump, and we've also blown air into the fresh water tank to drain all the water out of that. So now pretty much all the water is out of our entire plumbing system. And now I theoretically would be ready for winter if I wanted to. I would just need to pour some antifreeze into the traps of the sinks and keep those from freezing. But yeah, that would be the next step when winterizing. We're not quite ready to winterize yet because we still may have another couple trips in this trailer coming up this summer. But that is it.